Another week in the books. Who's rising? Who's falling? It's time for this week's Power Rankings with Tiki and Tierney. Number 10.
All right, this will be fun. Let me just restate what we're doing here. Usually we do something pertaining to the NFL, but with Porzingis' emergence, we threw this together. Who knows? Maybe he'll be on our list, maybe he won't, but the 10 most interesting athletes in sports right now could have a positive connotation, could have a negative one, whatever. Number 10 for me is Matt Harvey of the Mets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Number 10, electric stuff, big personality, controversial enough to keep you guessing. Matt Harvey, number 10.
He dates beautiful models, all
That
that,
helps.
all that good stuff.
Doesn't show up for
I'm
workouts.
going to go individual sport for my number 10. And now, again, this is subjective. It can be anybody from anywhere. I'm going Serena Williams, who had an unbelievable 2015 start, and she's may go down if she keeps winning as the greatest female tennis player ever, maybe the greatest female athlete ever.
Number 9.
By the way, if you guys want to chime in, 855-212-4227, Twitter at Tiki and Tierney. What do you got, number 9?
I did go for a college running back. It was not Christian McCaffrey, as I've talked about him every week, I feel like. It was actually Leonard Fournette. And why? Because he can't come out this year. And now there's a debate surrounding what he should do next year. Should he not play, or should he just go play for LSU and keep beasting it like he is? So Leonard Fournette's interesting to me for the larger picture of what he represents. He's Todd Gurley, who was obviously this year's draft pick for the St. Louis Rams, are recreating the running back in the National Football League. I love that.
Okay, here you go. I'm going Johnny Manziel. I think a year ago he's probably a little higher on this list. Listen, it's either going to go well or it's not, but I think any way you cut it, the Browns will finally get a definitive answer. Does he implode? Is there a car wreck on the side of the road? Or does Johnny finally quell the fears and the criticisms and become the franchise guy? Any way you cut it, pretty interesting. We'll find out.
Number 8.
Carlos Correa for me, shortstop for the Astros.
Good one.
You know, I think we're at a time now with baseball where there are a few players that you got to tune in and watch. And 22 home runs, 14 stolen bases with a nearly 900 OPS in 387 plate appearances. He's A-Rod without the drama. This kid is an absolute superstar.
Interestingly, I went baseball, too, at number 8. I went Bryce Harper, though, 42 home runs, which led or tied the National League this year. But also his WAR was almost 10. And he's
going with the WAR
but he's
reference.
intriguing to me because of what we expected from this Nationals team, the underperformance, which was gross for this National squad, and the kind of enigmatic star that he is. I want to see him mature and grow and be the leader that this Washington Nationals team and Major League Baseball needs from him.
Number 7.
Good one, Teak. I'm going Aaron Rodgers. Again, this list could go any way you want.
No right or wrong here.
No right or wrong. It could be a combination of interesting, confounding, whatever. But a month ago, we were getting on the air saying he's the best quarterback that's ever played in terms of technicians and skill set. And all of a sudden, they can't really score. And I know it's for a multitude of reasons. No separation, wide receivers, no running game. He's a little banged up. I get that. But how does Aaron Rodgers finish his season? To me, incredibly interesting.
I'm going Clayton Kershaw at number 7. We obviously saw him last year as the MVP and the Cy Young winner. He had a subpar start to this past season, but he rebounded, and he's still the greatest pitcher that we've seen in a while.
Number 6.
I'm going to Todd Gurley, who has once again brought running backs back into the conversation for the right reason. And I know that the Rams are sinking now. It's not his fault. They don't have a quarterback. But Todd Gurley has been a beast from minute one.
He could have went Jordan Spieth, could have went Rory McIlroy. I'm going Jason Day at number 6. He's intriguing to me. His backstory, if you don't know it, go check it out. He had a really rough upbringing, and golf kind of saved him. His father passed away, and now look where he is. He might be better than all those other kids.
Number 5.
He might be on my list. Might be a little higher, though. Number 5, Kristaps Porzingis for me.
Yeah, of course he made the list.
Come on, made 7'3". He's got incredible footwork, his timing, his heart. He's got all the skills you want. He rebounds, he runs. Franchise player, finally, for the Knicks.
Perfect from downtown last night as well. Only 2 for 2, but great looking shot.
And 7 for 7 from the stripe.
Exactly.
And 11 rebounds.
I have Johnny Manziel at number 5 for all the reasons that you said earlier, but he is one of the most intriguing young quarterbacks that we've seen. Not good, not bad, but kind of both, which kind of makes me want to watch.
Number 4.
Well, you said him. I'm going with Jason Day, and I thought about Spieth. And I wish Jason Day, not to sound like a lout, I wish Jason was American. You know, because I obviously for Ryder Cup, I want to see Spieth do well. But Jason Day has a fire that Spieth, at least an outward emotion that maybe Spieth doesn't have, and he cranks at 340 off the tee.
The story is more
and
interesting.
The story is tremendous.
Story is much more interesting. I have LeBron at number 4. We're in this constant pursuit of trying to find the greatest athlete of our generation. LeBron is in that conversation, and his pursuit for his next title is something that I find very intriguing, especially because he's gotten to that point where he's honest about everything, good and bad, when it comes to him or his team.
Number 3.
I got Bryce Harper here. I mean, he's the modern athlete. A little petulant, highly aggressive, a little attitude, plenty of flair, and plenty of game. I want to see how he develops here. Does he become a leader? I think you nailed the good one earlier.
I have Tom Brady here at number 3. Obviously, 4 Super Bowl championships. He could have won 6, but not for my Giants. His head coach will go down as the greatest coach of all time. 4 championships for Belichick, but 2 as a coordinator with the Giants. So the Brady how we view him long term is very interesting to me.
Number 2.
What do you have at 2 here,
Steph. Steph, the greatest shooter of all time already.
True.
Steph, and can they repeat? They're 3 games away from going 15-0, which ties the NBA record. I think they're getting there. I think they may go significantly past that because they are playing with urgency, something that LeBron says his team is not.
I've got LeBron at 2. I think there's incredible intrigue, incredible interest. Number 1, and you raise a good point. He's honest. He's been forthright with it. He's not trying to shield.
No.
He just, hey, I've got my rings. I could be very honest, but can he deliver for his hometown city, which never wins anything? That's a huge story.
Number 1.
I got Steph here. A little man, and he's the perfect combination of blending fundamentals with street. You know, Iverson was all street.
Yeah.
You know, this kid it's like he's
Good
the
point.
suburb kid, but he's also the kid who gets it done at the park. I could watch Steph Curry play all night.
Yeah, I have it number 1, and I may be a prisoner of the moment, but Cam Newton is my number 1 intriguing athlete. Here's why. He is, and it's a lot to do with my skin color. He's an African-American starting quarterback who is in the MVP conversation. When was the last time we had that? And he's transcendent, not just what he does on the field.
Right?
Well,
McNabb?
no, I don't know if he was
McNair?
deep in the MVP. It's been a while, though.
It's been a while.
Think about how long ago that was with McNabb, especially with McNair. He transcends the sport in a lot of ways, and he's got a smile that radiates for days. Now, some people are going to knock him because of his dancing and the dap, whatever he's doing, but he's a winner, and you have to consider him as an MVP candidate.
That was this week's Power Rankings with Tiki and Tierney.